Okay, going to show you how to graph using tablets or laptops using computers. You have already done this by hand, making bar graphs and line graphs using just paper and pencil. And this hopefully will speed things up for you. There's two main programs that do the graphing. One is Microsoft Excel, which you have if you have Microsoft Office on your computer. Some have it, some don't. The other is Google Sheets or Google Spreadsheets, and everyone has access to that because it's on the web, and I think by now everyone has their Google account, so you can use this. So I'm going to show how to graph using this, Google Sheets. If you want to learn how to use Excel for graphing, it's just it's pretty much the same thing, the same steps I'm going to show for Google Sheets, just a little bit different. But yeah, overall, it's pretty much the same thing. Anyways, first I want to make a bar graph. And bar graphs are useful at graphing this kind of data. This data is not full of numbers. It's got some words here. In this case, did a poll and asked a bunch of grade 8 students what their favorite TV shows were. And these are the results. Let's graph it. The way you graph it, you want to go to Google Sheets. So what you want to do for Google Sheets is go to Google. Go to your Google account. You know you're signed in if you've got your name up there. That's me, I'm H. And you click on this thing. Go to your Google Drive. And there's all my stuff there. And what you want to go to is go right here where it says New, in the red box here. New. Click on New. Go to Sheets. Google Sheets, the green one. And a spreadsheet appears. Untitled, ready for you to add some stuff. Now what we want to do is take this data, copy it, and paste it into that spreadsheet, like this. So I'm going to highlight all of that, copy it. Again, there's a bunch of ways to copy it. One way on your keyboard is to hit the Control-C button, or Apple C if you've got a Mac, or you can right-click and do copy. And then you want to paste it into your spreadsheet. Now the thing with Google is they don't let you do the right click copy paste into these things. You have to use the Control-C for copy and the Control-V for paste. So if I want to paste the stuff in, I'm going to hit Control, hold Control, and then press V, and there it shows up. There's my data. Just going to separate out the headings. Whoops, make sure that it all fits in. Not that it makes any difference to the graph, but just being particular. And then what you do is you highlight all the data. Make sure you got all that highlighted. Then hit Insert. And you go down, you go down to where it says Chart. So you insert, then Chart. And when you click on Chart, you get all these options. Now here's a little preview window of what your graph's going to look like. Honestly, it's almost pretty good, like as is. Going to have to make some little tweaks to it though. Now we want to make a bar graph. Here it gives you a bunch of options. This is the best one I want to go with. There's a pie graph, there's a line graph, and those kind of things. I want this. I like the bar graphs going like that. So I'm going to click that. There are more chart types you can use here, lots of them. But anyways, let's just stick with the one we had. Okay. Now I want to change the title. So to do that, and do some other stuff, I want to go to Customization right there. Customization. Click on that and all these things pop up. Now for the title, if you remember, the title usually for a graph starts with the relationship between. And what is the relationship between? Well, it's the relationship between grade 8 students and their favorite TV shows. So we can say that. Just reword this. It's already got that there. I'm just going to change it a little bit. So the relationship between grade 8 students, and there's more down here. Let's change that to, and their favorite TV show. Should be pluralized, so I'll put an S there. Favorite TV shows. Now do you want to see that title change? Just click somewhere else on the screen and boom, there it is. Nice title right there. See, every graph needs to have a title, and there is the title there. Next, actually before we get into the next part, this little legend here, we don't really need to know that the blue means number of grade 8 students because we already have that here. So where it says legend right there, let's just get rid of it. Go none. And bye-bye goes the legend. Next, the axes. Your horizontal axis right here, also called the x-axis, and your vertical axis, also called your y-axis. The names. Now honestly, this name right here for the horizontal or x-axis is good. I don't really need to change it. But if I was going to change it, I would go here, axis, and it's horizontal, meaning right there, horizontal, and I would just type in there what axis title I wanted. And of course I could change the bold, the font size, and all that kind of stuff. It's good, I'm going to leave it. Now for this axis here, how do I get there? Ignore this series thing, just ignore that. What you do is you click on this drop box here, and click on left vertical. And that, because this is the left side of the graph, and it's vertical, that refers to the y-axis, you can make some tweaks there if you want. But again, it's already good. I don't have to tweak it. Okay, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. It just depends on what data you're inputting. Everything else, I mean, you can fool around with it if you want, but you know, this graph is pretty much good to go. It's got a title, the axes are labeled, there are units, in this case it's numbers, and we're good. So now I click Insert. When I'm finished, I click right here, Insert. And there's my graph. Now, here's the thing. You need to input your graph or put your graph into a lab. And normally the lab will probably be on Google Docs. So you should also have a Google Doc opened up. So I went to Google Drive, New, Google Doc. And let's call this Google Doc, just as a practice, just, you know, we'll call it My Lab. My Lab. And usually graphs will go into your data and observation section. And so I want my graph to go right there. Well, how am I going to do that? There's a few ways you can do that. One is to use what's called the snipping tool. And the snipping tool, if you go to your search bar for, this is a Surface, but for any pretty much any laptop, you go to the search bar and you type in snipping tool. And what snipping tool allows you to do, there's the scissors, is it allows you to cut and paste or take a screenshot of anything and paste it somewhere else. So what I do is click on New. Notice everything fuzzes out a little bit. There's the little cursor, little T, and I just hold and drag whatever I want to copy. I want to copy that. It's copied to this little clipboard, but I want to actually really copy it. And the way you do that is you hit this little button right there where it says copy, or you can go edit, copy, either way. Copy it, and now I want to paste it into my Google Doc. And remember, Google likes you to paste things by holding the control button and pressing V. And there it appears. Okay, that's one way. I'm going to delete this. That's one way to insert graphs into your spreadsheet, into your document. Another way in Google Docs is to save the image. When you save the image, this little box might pop up. You hit Save File, and for me, it goes to my downloads. It saves to my downloads, and then what I do is just go to my lab. I find that thing, that object, and I just drag it in. Oops. Drag it in, and it appears. Okay, I understand those of you with tablets and Macs, you have your own little system of how it works, of how you can do this. Pick whatever method you like. Okay, so there you go. Bar graph is in. Now, let me show you how to do the same with a line graph. So with a line graph, or line graphs are useful when you have data with where both columns are numbers, like this. Here we're looking at the depth of the water in Pitt Lake versus its temperature. And obviously, as you can see, the deeper you go, the cooler the temperature gets. So I want to graph this. What do? The same thing. First, highlight your data, select it, copy it, Control-C or do the other button. And we want to paste it into our spreadsheet. You can just use the same one. Just find another spot on the spreadsheet, click there, and then paste it in, Control-V. There it is. Okay, and now you highlight it, just like before. Highlight it, insert, chart, just like the bar graph, insert chart. Now what I want to do, I know I said line graph, but actually what I want is a scatter plot. This right here is a scatter plot. When you look at the chart types, you'll see a bunch of other scatters right here. So scatter plot's what I want. I don't want the line drawn yet. I'll show you later why. So that's what I get. Okay, now notice the title needs to be changed, and I have no axes labeled here. So we need to customize that. So I want to say the relationship between, so we'll just put right there, my cursor right there, the relationship between, whoops, B-E-T, ween, let's read the rest of it, Pitt Lake water depth in meters and temperature in degrees Celsius. The thing is that little degree sign is not showing up, so I'm going to type in degrees, D-R-E-G-R-E-S, Celsius, and if I want to see it show up here, just click somewhere else on the screen and it appears. Oh, I should have put a space between the degree and the Celsius. And there we go. Alright, next, going to change the axis. What numbers are these? These are temperature. This is the temperature. So horizontal axis, I need to put a title there. Temperature. Not putting a title, I'm actually labeling the axis in degrees Celsius. No H in degrees. Okay. Done, done, done. Click somewhere else to see what it looks like. Beautiful. Here, this is meters, depth in meters. So I want to go on this left vertical axis. So I go here, left vertical, and I type in depth, and then in brackets, meters. I should have actually put Pitt Lake water depth, but that's fine for now. And click somewhere else, see how it looks. Looks good. I don't need that that legend, so I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm good. Now sometimes you're asked to do a best fit line or a best fit curve. And the way you do that is you scroll right down to the bottom where it says trend line. Now this looks like it's a curve. It's going, 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 then it's flattening out. So what I do here is, and I don't expect you to know what these words mean. Linear means straight line. Exponential is a curve. And that's what we want. Ignore all that mathy stuff there. That's the shape I want because it looks like a curve. So I hit insert. If the dots were straight, pretty much from making a straight line, then I would hit linear. And linear would look like that. See, straight line like that. But it looks like this is a curve shape, so I'm going to hit exponential. I hit insert, and the same thing. I use the snipping tool, or I save it into my document here. Drag it in. Oops, sorry. Oh my god. And I'm going to drag it in right there, and I'm good. So there you go. That's how you do it. Graphing bar graphs and line graphs on Excel, on Google Sheets. Thank you, and bye-bye.